I thought that was my closing speech. Okay, well, I have to get another inspiration. Inspirations don't come by easily. You have to humble yourself. You have to be humble. You have to be born with the love of humanity. And humanity is so close to each other, not too far at all. There were the times where there was big distance. Wow. Not anymore. I don't know where to start, but always when I put you in retrospect where you are at, maybe that helps you. I'll say a few minutes about my China experience. Why? Because now Africa is deifying China. Before was America, and before was, oh, Dubai, Saudi. I'm making this on purpose. We love them all. We are not at all against them. We are not making fun of them. We are realizing. And then now China, and then before that was Europe. All of them are human beings, simple human beings. They're vulnerable. They have the fears, they have their psychologies, they have their rejections, they have their successes, they have their excitements. But they are human beings. There is no internal greatness in them that is not in you. In fact, you are the source, you are the origin, you started the entire humanity. And the cycles will come around. And somehow God has willed so that the cycles have come around. And Farzam is nothing, nobody. I know myself. I am from the smallest villages. I couldn't even talk, I had tittering. And I was the shyest. And somehow God chooses all of you now, not me. It's you, it's about you. So what I am trying to become a channel is to show. I was in China. Again, I'll tell you the stories. Very poor, very disappointed, totally at loss, crying every day, coming to me every level of society, high, low, mid-level. They were poor, they had nothing, no hope. They thought that their civilization was dead and they had the glory of the past. And so they, scholars, the highest level scholars, were saying, look how bad we are. We don't even have a language. Our language is not phonetic. It's not like American and European. It doesn't have alphabet. So we are not building anything. That's how downtrodden they were. You don't know how they were at the brink of starvation not far ago. If I talk long and long and long, then you will realize, my God, we are way ahead of them. They were. And they came up, and you will come up, and you will come surpass. I don't have any fear that Africa will not become rich. In fact, I see multi-trillionaires in Africa, not just billionaires. Okay? And I tell you, the consideration is not that Africa will remain poor or not. Done! God says enough, enough. Africa will become very rich, super rich, but will not forget benevolence, humanity, kindness, giving away. The tribal culture will not disappear. How will be you when you are super wealthy with the utmost humility and with utmost kindness to the others? This is the Africa that I see. I was with, today you reminded me, one of my friends, everybody thinks that China had 0 billionaire. In fact, the highest money they had was $30. Monthly, $30. Okay? They did not have homes. Everything was government given. You know about the iron rice bowl? They had an iron rice bowl. Only rice. Every time government would give them these monies. They had coupons. Line of bicycles. They were going to refugees to North Korea, which is now so poor. Had nothing. But then I saw my friend became the first billionaire. His name is Liu Yonghao, the chairman of the New Hope Group. The first billionaire of China was made In 1999, before the millennium, before that there was no billionaire. When my friend who was the Minister of Information, Zhao Zhang, and I'll tell you a little bit funny story about him. He was a mayor of Shanghai, deputy mayor in Pudong, the other side of Shanghai, the poor area. When I moved to China as pioneer, I went to the poorest area of Shanghai. And I had no hot water, no electricity, and I had no telephone. So he, Mr. Mayor Zhao Zhang, made one first special favorable policy to one foreigner who lived in that part of Shanghai, and gave me one line of telephone from the street all the way to the 6th floor. Okay? And I got my special favor. And then he became minister, and then he became the chairman of the Forbes Forum. And so I invited this poor man who became now very rich, became the billionaire, the first billionaire. Now China has 700 billionaires. I know half of them when they were poor. I see in all of you those billionaires. I saw them, they were just like, no, in fact, they were not clean like you. They were not at all. They were very dirty. They were the yellow Chinese who looked black because they were dirty. I promise you. Because with the charcoal, I have to tell you, let you laugh so that you will realize that no status is permanent. Neither abject degradation will not be there, will go up. But also never be proud. You will lose it in 1 second. China has become proud. That's why they're coming down. Otherwise, they will be going high, high, high more. So God is giving you the chance. And what message should I give those who are themselves enlightened? What message should I give those who are themselves enlightened? The message that your rise to glory will have to become automatic, fast, inborn, spread everywhere. You are the ambassadors that will take the news. That's why today I do realize that this location is sacred. There have people who have sacrificed. And this, it seems, that will become the meridian point, the center where this goodness is going to spread all over of Africa, all over throughout Africa. Not that Africa is poor, although in the rural areas and in many places there are still. In China there is nobody now that's starving out of starvation. They used to starve. You know how many Chinese died out of starvation after the Cultural Revolution? In the millions, tens of millions. Much worse than your Africa, our Africa. Okay? Never think that you have it greater than Farzam has. Farzam is nobody, was nobody. God gave me, just remember, wherever you go, it is not about you, it is about them. The love that is, he has acted it. You know why he's taking more video than anyone I have seen? Not because he is a photo shooter video, he's a king. Yes. But why he takes the videos? See, I read his heart. He knows that I read his heart, because when he came, I read his heart that day. How much suffering he has gone through. Because he has the greatest love, that's why he's taking so much. He's going to spread it to so many other people. Okay, thank you. But every one of you is so special, whom I can talk about. This one lady, one day, not today, you will hear her story. She has seen the invisible God in the visible form of the goodness that exists in all humanity. Someday, when she goes much higher and higher, she will be boldly expressing and sharing and revealing her stories. And God exists. And God is real. So real you can touch. So real that you can touch the way I'm touching you. Every one of us have miracles in our heart. Look at the signs. Build on those miracles. You have limitless powers. One soul can become the cause of the spiritual illumination of an entire continent. One soul. And whom we have here? We have an army of light. I don't know what to talk about. I really love you. I'm really humbled. Because humanity cannot wait any longer. In every indicator in the world, I am weaker than all other human beings. I promise you. I am weaker, and I was weaker. One indicator, I have something. And that is the belief and the determination. We will not wait for future generations. Enough is enough. In one generation, we have to change the destinies of the entirety of humanity. Not a little goodness. Not that I'm doctor, I'm helping a little bit more. No, not enough. The entirety of humanity is time for its maturity. Okay? Have guts, have soul, and decide. Okay? That this power from here, it will be like an arrow. Not goes 10 meters, not goes 1,000 meters. It must go across the planet. This is the power of you. That's what you're doing. You're taking it across the planet. Now we do it consciously. Why? Because a very impotent, very incapable, low-level villager Farzam did it. I will do better than them. Not that I am great. Okay? When the presidents see me, I show them in an invisible way how genuine and pure my motive is. Therefore, that's the power, not me. Okay? If we want to change the planet, we don't do it with monies and with the tools, although these tools with the good heart of the soul, our brother, and he's always hiding because he puts others first. Yeah. He is successful because he puts others first, because he's genuine. And I am here and I will support him with all my soul, with every power that I could have, that I have gathered. And God has given me. I will be supporting him. In fact, maybe not in a very way I may plan, but I believe God will draw down what we can bring to. So, my friends, you feel me? You feel me that the powers that we have is limitless. You know why you feel me? Because every speaker that spoke, this microphone didn't allow them to speak. You remember? But when I come here, the microphone becomes alive, becomes soul, listens to me. Because I am nobody, I am that nobody that is crossing your path. You will remember before thousands of years that the nobody came to Africa, and you did it. I will show it to you, because I believe in God. Amen. I don't believe in me. Yes, all the motivational speakers say, believe in you, we have, yes, in the goodness in you, in the purity in you, in the humility in you, in the purity of motive in you. But I believe in God, and God will open up. She has seen God. I show you how in the future she will affect millions and millions of people. But she came from very humble beginning, maybe more humble than most of you or all of you. But she will change the face of the planet. I know that. I will not say it publicly if that wasn't the truth. So that's why God puts her connect next to somebody who will ensure that my prophecy will come true, because whatever was in her heart, and she has done a lot, she wants another soul to have that capacity to finish the job. You can see the two of them, why they are hanging together. It will come true, because whatever was in her heart, and she has done a lot, she wants another soul to have that capacity to finish the job. You can see the two of them, why they are hanging together. There is a reason. All of us are here, there is a reason. I must come closer to you. You know why? Because it is you who will remember. There was a love that was unbounded. And I don't show it. I didn't sacrifice anything for you. I didn't give you anything. But that thinking and that prayer and that spirit that will go in you for generations, that I have. God gave me that gift. And all of these people who came from India for the first time in Africa, they are the humble servants of humanity. Because in their experience, God has put Africans here, Indians in Africa for a purpose. They are in every country of you. They came from the most humble beginnings. They were like the slaves, not actual slaves, but they were the British masters. And they built themselves, right? And they have been a source of good all over Africa. Very humbly, even more powerfully than the Chinese. The Chinese will also do very well in the future. They have to learn to be more humble, and they will. You have always been humble. The noble masses of India are to be. That's why in the highest strategies at the London Queen Elizabeth Hall in front of the Chancellor of the British government, Chancellor, an Indian. I said and I announced that is November 20, 2022, that the #1 engine of the economy and finance of the world is now Africa. #2, India, and both of you will come up. And the same sentence right after was the US African Leaders Summit in December 2022, which is, by the way, from my Future Trends Africa Manifesto. America was not thinking about putting Africa first. But then they said a month after that, January 19, 2022, 23, you read the speech of Janet Yellen in Dakar. 20 of all of the messages come from my Future Trends Africa Manifesto, but they don't dare to put the name, and I don't care about the name. But the one sentence is exactly what I said. The trajectory of the economy and finance of Africa will decide and set and determine the trajectory of the finance and the economy of the whole world. What does it mean? America will determine? No, Africa. China will determine? No. So that means Africa first. Africa first. Not because of superiority, pride. Africa is now the eye of God is on Africa. In fact, if you understand the world destinies, I invent this word. I look at this process. I call it mega capital migration. In the world, it went from Europe after Renaissance to US throughout 300 years. Built in US became monies. After World War II, US invested in Germany and in Japan. Immediately, no more than a decade, Japan rose, Germany rose. And they went and bought back US. So, their banks and every real estate, all the Japanese were taking before Chinese went there. And then all of them, Germany, Europe, Japan, Korea, China, US, they all invested into China. The poor came up. In fact, it was not their investment that made them rich. It was China's own internal policy changes and mindset changes that created the matrix. And they rose big time and surprised the world. But that surprise, in front of what you Africans will surprise the world, is nothing. That's why I named it the surprise rise of Africa. Yes. You surprise yourself, you surprise them. Will you?
Yes. Yes.
I said, the jewels that are hiding here in the dust, you take them up and you polish. Wow, the diamonds of the human souls you are. Then you look at it and say, wow, this is me. And then you take it to them and you say, wow, this is me. Africans will show the world how God wishes to change abasement to glory in a sudden. And in a sudden you will do it. And it will spread everywhere. And not only you will do it, you have lovers of you, the white, that are the truly no color. Humanity has no color. Does humanity have color? Do you see the color of the soul? Who can measure for me the color of the soul? I don't know why we are fooled by the surface and we don't know reality is always behind it. In fact, God created that way. The entire creation is a test. What our eyes sees and believes in the front is a test. No, the reality is always simpler and hiding behind, invisible. Find Your own reality is invisible, the powers that are limitless. Because God said humanity is destroying itself. I gave humanity free choice. And yes, they have not yet. But I want to create a new race of human beings. Neither black, nor white, nor yellow, nor red, or whatever. The souls of humanity have to be extracted, lifted, and shine. You agree with me? I can feel it. My friends, I don't speak conventional, because conventional does not help. And I am not at all thinking about myself, because thinking about myself means I keep $1 and I lose $1.5 billion. I'm not stupid. Okay? My humility is not humility. It is what I call utility. Actually, I'm very selfish. Because I care about 1.5 billion of Africa. That's my selfishness. I knew you would like summer, but I knew I would find. I must do that ceremony because God told me. You be the white who bows down in front of the black, so that they know they have always had a dignity. So, you are doing what I couldn't do. Isn't he doing what I cannot do? Yes. But maybe my soul and heart and my little bit of network I have just planted in your hands. Fully. Non-conditionally.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fully non-conditionally. Thank you, my family. Thank you.
The African woman is the mother of humanity. And as the multi-genius, the Senegalese Dr. Anta Diop said, he proved humankind comes from one gene pool. Its origin is African. He proved to all the scientists in the world that the notion of race is an illusion, that there is one human family. We're here, and not by accident, as was said many times. We're here together to carry out a special mission. I'd like to share with you a poem that is consistent with everything we've been talking about all week. Africa Rising. Pulsing with the vibrance of original human life, a nurturing mother to all, sleeping giant awakening in the dawn, oh, Africa rising. Growing in the depths of ancient human experience, an alien planet awaits your merciful morn, oh, Africa rising. Rising, 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 Africa rising, rising to give new life to the world. Simmering with hope for a brighter future to see. Tomorrow becomes today. Sleeping giant now awake at millennium dawn. Oh, Africa rising. Rising, 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 Africa rising. Rising to give new life to the world. May kindness heal the land. Asante Sana.